Hi, hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Anne and today I'm bringing you a very fun and very exciting reading vlog. So this is going to be my magical readathon reading vlog. So I have chosen the career of a necromancer and I have a lot of prompts that I'm going to be working towards. But if you don't know what the magical readathon is, this is a readathon that happens every April and every August, and it was created by G from Book Rose. This is one of my favorite readathons to take part in. I don't think I've ever actually completed a full readathon and completed all the prompts that I've needed, but this year is going to be the year because I'm vlogging this one. So this is a school setting readathon where this has been going on for years, but basically you choose a career that you study towards, and then every subject that you have has a prompt that you need to read a book for. So the one that I've started today, because it's the April 1st, which means it's the start of the magical readathon season, and I'm very, very excited, is animal studies. So we are studying raccoons in this class. So I have to steal a book from another TBR. So the book that I've stolen is Enchantra by Kaylee Smith, and I stole this from Covers with Cassidy's TBR video. So make sure to check out both G and Covers with Cassidy channels if you like bookish content. So Enchantra is book 2 in the Wicked Game series by Kaylee Smith. Kaylee Smith wrote Phantasma, and I gave that a 5 stars in January, so I'm very, very excited to be picking up book 2. I got a NetGalley arc, which is very, very exciting. I started this on my lunch break and I only got 2 chapters in, but in this one we're following Genevieve, who is Ophelia's sister from book 1. And Genevieve is in Italy and she is meeting up with some family friends and gets thrust into this deadly game. And that's all I know about it. That's all I know going in. I love Genevieve as a character. I'm very intrigued and immediately swept in to the writing. So that is what I'm going to be doing, and hopefully I will be back very soon with an update on what I'm thinking of Enchantra, and then once I start some of the next books for this vlog, I will come back and update you. But there is one prompt that I need to try the first sentence of 3 books and pick the best sentence out of all of those. So I will definitely come back and do that on camera at some point, but I don't know when that will be. So I'm going to go. I'm going to get some reading done. I'm going to get some dinner cooked because I'm hungry, and I'll be back with an update at some point during the week, the month, because this is going for a month or until I complete all the prompts. So I'm going to go and stop rambling. Bye. For an update on the magical readathon. Prompt number 1 is done, which is for my raccoon studies, which was steal a book of someone else's TBR, and I read Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. I just finished it this morning and I absolutely loved it. Just like Phantasma, I love the dark gruesomeness, I love the gothicness, I love the sort of games that are thrown in here, and I just really, really loved Genevieve and Rowan. It is peak tension, peak enemies to lovers. There is a trope thrown in here that I wasn't expecting and I've always loved, so I was very happy when I saw that one come up. So we are going to be picking our next prompt, our next book, sorry, which, let me pull up my notes app. Where is it? I just had to reset my phone and everything's everywhere. It's set up differently now, so I can't find anything half the time. So the next book that I want to be, next prompt that I want to be checking off is Restoration, which is Uncommon Antidotes, book with a 4+ star rating. And the book that I've chosen for this is Heart Eyes by Esme Brett. So this is a novella that is by a New Zealand author that I'm very, very excited to meet at Ages of Pages, which is an event that I'm going to very, very soon. So I've been trying to read some of these NZ authors that I'm going to be meeting, so I can already be aware of if I like their books or not before I go in and buy a bunch of books. So it has a 4.12 rating on Goodreads, and it is 130 pages. So Dean's a grump who wants to be left alone. Hannah's a liar in need of a fake boyfriend. While photographing a sexy Valentine's Day photo shoot, Hannah Holiday tells her models that the grouch who owns the hotel they're shooting at is her boyfriend. This is news to Dean Harris, her quote-unquote boyfriend. Hannah has her reasons, but none of them matter to Dean, reluctant hotelier. He's busy avoiding his guests and trying not to leer at the tall, freckled boudoir photographer. As his best friend's cousin, Hannah's off limits, and having the Royal Hotel linked to her boudoir photography business is a risk he can't afford. But before either of them can say tit pic, Dean's attending a wedding as Hannah's fake date and learning how to sext. The relationship might be fake, but the horniness is real. Heart Eyes is a 29,000 word rom-com. It's a fake dating Grumpy and Sunshine story set in small town New Zealand featuring phone sex and dirty talk. Trigger warnings include dissolution of a marriage, off-page historic, and alcohol consumption, on-page mild. I'm very, very intrigued by this. I've heard some really good things about it, and a bunch of my friends have been recently reading it, and I'm very, very excited. So I'm going to go and I'm going to read that and then give you updates and continue checking off these prompts, but my camera is on 3%, so I'm going to go before it dies. Happy Sunday. So we have some updates. So I finished Heart Eyes by Esme Brett last night. It was a very short novella. So it was 130 pages, and we're following our two main characters, Dean and, oh my god, what was her name? Hannah. And Hannah is a photographer, and she kind of is dealing with a breakup, and her partner was kind of doing a lot of the logistical stuff within the business. So she's kind of struggling a little bit, and she forgot to confirm accommodation for a photo shoot. And she ends up getting sent to this other hotel where we're meeting Dean, and he is the grumpiest grump you'll ever meet. He doesn't want anyone in this hotel who isn't the right person, and immediately there's this instant attraction between them. And Hannah opens her big mouth and decides that telling her models that Dean is her boyfriend. So they end up in this fake dating scenario where it's not really fake dating, because immediately they are obsessed with each other. And it's just so cute. The sexting and the dirty talk in here was absolutely amazing. I loved it, and I definitely want to see more of that. And I just really love the banter between Dean and Hannah. And I really like, for such a short novella, that there was some very serious topics discussed in here, such as a marriage breakup, like a little bit of mental abuse and toxic relationships and family, and it was just a really, really good story. I really, really enjoyed it. So I do think that it is going to be a 4-star. I'm not absolutely obsessed with it, but it was still really great. I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm very excited to check out more from Esme Bright, which is very exciting. So we now need to pick 3 books, read the first line of those 3 books, and pick one for my next read, because I think that would be a little bit fun. So I am currently reading a physical book at the moment, and I don't know what to pick for these 3 books. So let's just find some books. Oh, the question is, do I want to... What are you doing? I'm in the office. I'm in the office. What are you doing? It's just bust your elbow.
I can tell Hannah's trying to pick me up.
Oh. All I could hear was just these terrible noises coming from the bathroom after you were like hacking your lungs up.
Oh yeah, that was a different scenario.
So I'm just going to pick 3 Kindle books, I think, because I've got a couple of arcs that need to be read, and I've got quite a few Kindle books that I need to get through. So let's go with that, shall we? So the first one we have is House of Blight, which is by Maxim M. Martino, and I got this from NetGalley. So let's just read the first line. Where are we? Dedication. For those who constantly sacrifice in the name of others, it's okay to save yourself first. Love that. So let's go to the prologue. First sentence. When the stars were young and the sun was new, a woman of great power and strong mind met death at a 4-way crossing. I like that. That is very intriguing. So we have that one. Then let's see what else we should read. Because I've got so many books on here. I also have I Accidentally Summoned a Demon Boyfriend, which I've been meaning to read. I had it on my TBR for last month, and I didn't get to it, so let's have a quick look. I've heard really good things about this. It has the same humor as Kimberly Lemming and her series That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. So let's see what the first page is. He left his booty juice in my car. I screamed at the phone as I frantically scrubbed the custom pewter leather seat. What? That is disturbing, slightly weird. I don't know how I feel about that. What was the other one that I wanted to check out? We have Before Dawn by Jada West, which is another one that I've been meaning to read. So we have quite a few content warnings. Playlist, love that. That's a long playlist. Watch list. Wow, okay. So, you and I both know how love works. That's the first sentence. I don't know. I really loved the House of Blight opening, but I also really am intrigued by I Accidentally Summoned a Demon Boyfriend. But I think I'm going to do the right thing and pick up House of Blight because that is due on the 8th, a review is due on the 8th of April, which is coming up very soon. So I think this is going to be the one that I read. So let's pull up the synopsis and we'll talk about that. House of Blight, The Thread Mender Chronicles, Book 1. The first novel in an eerie, darkly creative and romantic new gothic fantasy duology from Maxim Martino for readers of Sarah J. Maas and Rachel Gillig. Edwina Brilwin is a thread mender. She holds a rare life-saving power that can cure disease and heal injuries in the blink of an eye. But magic always comes with a cost, and saving anyone sacrifices a sliver of her own life. She's always kept her abilities hidden until a powerful Fern Glove family discovers her secret. The Fern Gloves are charming and beautiful, possess powerful magic, and don't take no for an answer, especially Oren, the head of these ruling elites. When Adira's brothers unexpectedly contract blight, an incurable virus killing people throughout the town, and an illness too strong for her to heal them both, Oren offers to help. Together at his estate, they'll research a cure while Oren slows their sickness and Adira hones her magic. His kindness and honesty surprises Adira, as does her undeniable attraction to him. But the other Fern Gloves are suspicious of her power and may be more dangerous than the ever-present disease. The longer Adira stays within the confines of the manor, the more the family's pristine exterior begins to crack, until Adira discovers a terrifying secret and must choose who she can save and at what cost. Sounds really, really interesting, and I'm very excited to pick this one up. And the cover is absolutely stunning. So, yeah, we are going to read that one for this prompt. So I'm very excited. So I'm going to go, I'm going to have some coffee, and I'm going to get some reading done. I don't know if I'm going to be reading this today because I'm working on my other vlog, but we shall see. And I'll update you when we've got some updates. Update on the House of Blight. I am reading it as I am eating food at work, basically. So I'm like 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there, etc., etc. And I'm really enjoying it. It is very gothic, it is very atmospheric, the writing is beautiful, and the writing is making me cringe at certain times. There is, and in a good way, not in a bad way, there is a blight in this story. And we've just gotten to the point in the story where our main character is taken in by these the kind of people who covet magic, and she's taken in to kind of help them find a cure for this blight. And we've gotten to that point now, so I'm very intrigued to see where the story goes. The blight is very gross. I found that the author has described this blight in a really vivid and grotesque way, but it shows you how serious that this blight is. It is gross. It's made me visibly cringe because it actually is living in my brain how gross this is. But I'm very intrigued to see where the rest of the story goes. I know that there's a romance that blossoms, so I'm very intrigued. And I'm just really enjoying it. The writing is beautiful, the atmosphere is great, it's very gothic, and I'm really liking our main character. She is sassy and she's not going to take shit from these people. So I'm very excited to continue reading. So I'll be updating you as I go with this one. And I think this one will be a little bit of a slow go, but that's all right because I like those stories. And yeah, I'm very excited to continue, and hopefully this is a highly rated book for me. It's been a hot minute since I updated you guys, but the last book that I was reading was House of Blight by Maxine M. Oh gosh, by Maxim M. Martino. And I finished this on the weekend. I didn't really get many updates on the weekend just because I was so busy with trying to get content out because I have a lot going on. At the end of April, I'm going away and I just needed to work on my content creation. So I was filming, editing, and that's all I was doing all weekend pretty much. But I did find time to finish House of Blight and I really enjoyed it. I found that our main character was just so interesting. The world was so unique. The atmosphere was so... the setting was just so atmospheric and gothic, and I just really loved it. I loved our main character. She was really trying her hardest to cure this blight and saving her siblings, and she was going to do some really tough, make some serious tough decisions to save her brothers. I was very intrigued by the mystery that was going through. Right from the beginning, I didn't trust anyone, and I was right not to, because there is this mystery of what's actually happening in this area, and I just really enjoyed it. So I think it will be a high 4-star, if not a 5-star. I haven't actually run it through Copal, but I think it's going to be a high 4-star just because it didn't give me the 5-star feelings, and there was certain aspects of the story that I just wasn't a big fan of. I wanted her to be with someone else and not the person that she is with and who the synopsis talks about. So that was kind of a little bit of a bummer. It was really frustrating me at that point, so I think that it's definitely going to be a 4-star. But the next book that I picked up was Blood Song, and this is to go for the prompt with a musical term in the title. And I am reading Blood Song by Sarah Rose. This is an indie author, Australian/New Zealand author, And this is about our main character Quinn, who is launching her next step in her singing career. And she comes across a man named Matteo, and she kind of catches him in the middle of a feed because he's a vampire. And we're kind of watching her try to figure out what the hell is going on with vampires in the world. It is set in contemporary Australia with vampires thrown in, so it's very, very interesting. And I'm just really enjoying it. I'm about 30% of the way in. It's very quick paced, it's very intriguing, and I'm really liking Matteo as a character, even though he's a little bit pushy and very demanding of a main character Quinn, with his determination that they are going to be together. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's very fast paced, and yeah, I'm very excited to continue reading. So I'm very intrigued to see where the story goes. There is a little bit of an inkling now of where the story is going to go. I have a feeling that there's going to be some threats to Quinn. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. So I'm reading 2 different vampire books, one for a different vlog, one for this vlog. So it's kind of a lot of fun. And hopefully I can get to finishing this over the next few days. And then that will be another prompt ticked off. So we're getting there. It's only the 15th of April and we are ticking off these prompts. I've got a few more to go, but I'm determined to finish this readathon. So let's have a quick look. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 books left on top of excluding the one that I'm reading right now. So 5, which is doable, I think, if I push hard on my reading. But I'm going to get more reading in, and then I will update you when I've got some more thoughts on if I finish Budsong. So yeah. I'm going to do that now. It's been a day. So, we just got hit by a massive cyclone. So at 9 o'clock last night, we lost power. And we only got it back 2 hours ago. So we almost had no power for 24 hours. So this morning we decided to get up, go to the gym, have a shower, go to the bathroom, all that sort of thing. Because we didn't have power, which means our water doesn't work in this house. And then we decided to go to work to have breakfast because we couldn't have breakfast at home. So then our boss just basically told us to go home. It's too dangerous to be out. The wind was howling, the rain was spewing. It was crazy. So that was the time. So we did a little bit of a half day at work because we are away on holiday next week, which means my partner's job will get done while he's not there. So he was trying to get ahead of work. So I was just helping him out with that. So we spent half the day. Then I went and got my nails fixed because my nail polish was peeling a little bit. So my nail tech decided to fix them for me. And we came home to still having no power. So I read a whole book that I didn't even talk to you about. But for the prompts, let me grab my phone and I can tell you the prompt that I checked off with this book that I read. We have shape-shifting. So we were shape-shifting miniature dragons, and we have the prompt is dragon in the title, on cover, or in a book, or in the book. So I picked up Serpents of Sky and Flame by Rebecca F. Kenny. So this came in my Bookish and Spice monthly subscription, and as you can see, there's a dragon on the cover here, there's a dragon here, here. There's a dragon here. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous edition, and I read this edition with my special dust jacket protector, which also has dragons on it, which I thought was cool. But I got that in my Bookish advent calendar. But let me just show you how beautiful this book is. So you've just seen the front cover, sprayed edges, the back, and then we have the reverse dust jacket, which I love. And then we also have the naked hardcover. which I also love. And then we've got our end papers. And then I also love that every time we've got a chapter, this is our chapter headings. Loved it. So I really, really enjoyed this book. So in this one, we're following our main character, who is a princess. And the dragons have taken part in a war against her mother's queendom. They have decided to work against her mother's queendom to get extra land. And something happens where all the female dragons die. So these male dragons decide that they're going to take their females as revenge. So the princess gets taken, and then it's a story of her trying to deal with being a captive to a dragon, and their story of kind of falling in love. Oh my gosh, I'm really, really tired. So I did really enjoy this one. It was fun. It was very different. It was a very different take on dragons, which I'm very surprised by. You know, dragon stories are generally, they are just shifters, but there was a lot of depth to these dragons. And oh my god, I don't know if you can hear that rain, but it's absolutely pelting down. I'm over the rain. But anyway, it definitely takes a weird turn that I wasn't expecting. And I've never read in a book before that involves dragons. So it's really, really interesting. If you know, you know. If you don't, read it and find out. But I did enjoy it. I liked that there was so much tension between our main characters. There was so much banter, but also aggression. Not even aggression, but just like they were butting heads constantly. And I enjoyed that. I did find that everything was a little bit rushed. Everything happened very, very quickly. But again, it is a 300-page book, and we kind of need to get to the crux of the story. And the ending was quite surprising. So I would definitely be intrigued to continue with the series. But again, I don't think I loved it as much to actually keep the special edition on my shelf, which is a little bit sad. So I think I will be selling this one. But it was a fun time, and I'm glad that I decided to read it and actually read a subscription book, because I've got a few on my shelf that I haven't read. But another reading update is I finished Blood Song by Sarah Rose. Sarah Rose is a NZ author who now lives over in Australia, and this was the story that I was reading about vampires. And this was about our main character, who is a artist, a singer in a band, and kind of catches the attention of a vampire, and in the middle of feeding, she catches him feeding, and their story goes from there. I did really enjoy this one. I did find it to be a little bit fast-paced. Things moved a little bit too quickly for my tasting. I would have liked things to be drawn out a little bit more, but it was a fun time and I did enjoy it. It was very quintessentially Kiwi, because there's a few Kiwi characters in here. It is also very, very Australian, which I really enjoyed. But it was a fun time, and I definitely think that I would continue with this series at some point, but it's not this book kind of sits as a standalone within the series, so it's not something that I'm eagerly anticipating to pick up. But it was a fun time. I did like the vampires in here. I did like the way that they were. I liked Mateo as a character, and I liked Quinn. They are very interesting, and I'm very intrigued to see if we get to see more of Mateo and Quinn in the next one, because we're following a different character in the next one. But yeah, I think I'm going to be giving this one a 3-star, maybe, possibly a 4. I need to think about it a little bit, because I've just been zooming through books at the moment, because I haven't had much else to do apart from read, because we've had no power. But I have decided to pick up a Blood Tribute. Oh, before I forget, Blood Song ticks off the prompt for a musical term in the title. And then I have my next prompt is spells and incantations, spell copy paste, word from the last book. So because I finished Blood Song, I'm picking up Blood Tribute by Fila Roth. So this is a short, spicy vampire novella set in her Blood Mercy series, but following different characters. And in this one, we're following our main character, who is trying to get her inheritance after her family has died, and she comes to make a deal with a vampire that if she spends 3 nights with him and gives him 3 feeds of her blood, he will give her inheritance, basically. I've only started it, so I'm not 100% in, but I decided that I needed to come and update you guys because I hadn't come and updated you before I finished more books. This is very short. It's only about 85 pages, so I'll definitely be finishing it. If not tonight, definitely tomorrow. But I have a lot to do tomorrow as well, so yeah. But for this readathon, we are doing really, really well. I've only got 3 more prompts to complete, and Blood Tribute is going to be finished really, really quickly. And then all I have is two books left, and I have completed my challenge, which is exciting. And it's only the 17th of April, although I am going on holiday on Saturday, so I might not get a lot of reading done, but the plan is to get lots of reading done. Fingers crossed. All right, I'm going to go. Probably get some more reading in and then go to bed because I am tired. It's been a long day with no power, and I was getting worried about dinner, but power came on just before dinner time, which was great. All our ice cream has melted in the freezer, so we've been eating a bit of ice cream too. So gonna go, gonna read, gonna sleep, and then I'll be back to update you tomorrow when I finished Blood Tribute. Goodbye. Here for a final update on Blood Tribute by Vela Roth. I really, really enjoyed this. This is only 85 pages, but it was really short and it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I really liked our main character, Nora, who is very fierce, independent, and she is going to take on this vampire because she needs to get her castle and her inheritance for her family. And I really, really enjoyed it. I really liked just the dynamic between the two of them, and I loved that she was very determined for what she was going to do. I really like that this was so short and it was just completely different characters based in the same world as her main series, just so you could get a nice little taste of what her writing is like and what her world is, kind of what the world you're going to be stepping into. So I'm very excited to jump into her Blood Mercy series. I've heard that it is great, it is descriptive, it is beautiful, and I can definitely tell that this is going to be possibly a favorite series of mine. Vela Roth's writing is just beautiful and stunning, and I'm just really excited to continue reading more of her work. So this is just the perfect sweet little novella to get me ready to read some Vela Roth. So yeah. My goal now is to hopefully pick up my next book over the next couple of hours because we have a lot to do today. But the book that I'm hoping to pick up is... I'm very tired and I'm yawning again. A Crown That's Cold and Heavy by Stacia Stark. This is book 3 in the Kingdom of Lies series, and this is a series where we're following Priska, who has magic that she shouldn't have, because in this world, when you are born, you get your magic taken away from you, and at the age of 25, it gets gifted back to you. And Priska still has her magic, even though she's not 25 yet, and she has to go on the run and comes across mercenaries who are going to help her escape and save her life. I'm obsessed with this series. I'm loving it. I haven't stopped thinking about moving on to this book in the last month. I'm kind of sad I haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm very, very excited. And this is going to be hitting the prompt for features a missing person. This is book 3, so I don't want to spoil anything, but there is a missing person at the end of book 2. So then we're going to be following our characters in here who are going to be trying to find that person. I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to be talking in a lot of vague terms, but if you know, you know. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you've read this series, because I'm obsessed with it. Stacia is an NZ author, although she lives over in America now. She's got a new release coming out in the next couple of weeks, and then she's got another one coming out in January, which I'm very, very excited about, and I am on her street team. So yeah, I love this series, and I'm very, very excited to finally be diving back into this world and going back to Priska and Lorien. So I'm very excited. So yeah, I'll come back and give you an update and tell you what the actual prompt is for this one that is going to be completing, but I'm very, very excited. So I'm going to go. Hopefully I can get to read a little bit soon, because I am biting at the bit to get to this one. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get some work done and hopefully get some reading done before then. Have I been a terrible content creator? Yes, I have, because I was doing this vlog, and then we went on holiday and I completely forgot I was doing this vlog and finished 2 books for this readathon. So, we are going to talk about the last 2 books that I read, which was A Crown This Cold and Heavy by Stacia Stark, book 3 in the Kingdom of Lies series, which fitted the prompt for featuring a missing person. I love this, 5 stars, absolutely obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm currently in the middle of tabbing it up. I did annotate as I was reading, but I just didn't tab them because I ran out of tabs on holiday. But I love this. This is book 3. Everything is hitting the fan. This made me cry multiple times, and I am so obsessed, and I'm very excited to continue in book 4 in the month of May. Then the last book was a random country generator, and the country that I got was South Africa, and the book that I picked up for this was The Shining Girls by Lauren Bucas. This is a book that I've had on my shelf for a long time, and I've been meaning to read it. I've heard so many great things about this. This is about a time-traveling serial killer. I thought it'd be right up my alley, but I hated it. I gave it 2 stars. I didn't like the writing. This is very Stephen King-esque, where it's overly descriptive. Words probably in here shouldn't be used. And yeah, I just didn't like it, and it took me a long time to bloody read, so I'm very disappointed in this one. But yeah, so that is the end of this vlog. I have finally achieved a magical readathon achievement and have hit my career as a necromancer, which is very exciting. I don't remember any of the books that I've read for this vlog, so we are just going to wrap it up here. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like, comment down below if you took part in the magical readathon, and subscribe if you want to see more content from me. Bye.